of the world. Today I'll be summarizing this gem of a book that's called The Secret Life of Bees by Sumang Kid. Honestly speaking, every sentence in this book is structured with such stunning beauty. Every word is selected with the utmost intention and precision. Reading this book in one sitting was such a pure delight. I mean, her imagery game is just next level. So the novel is set in South Carolina, particularly in two states called Sylvan and Tiburon, during the 1960s when the Civil Rights Movement was the main spotlight, and also during which the Voting Rights Act was pushed. The story tells the tale of a white teenager, Lily, who lives with her tyrant of a father, T-Ray, and whose mother dies in an accident when Lily is 4 years old. Rosaline is the black housekeeper who comes every day to do the chores like cooking, cleaning, and basically just raising Lily. As Lily gets older, she becomes more and more curious about her mother, what she was like, and basically the circumstances that led to her untimely death. She conjures up fantasies of her mother's supposed love for her, and she finds solace in these thoughts, especially when she deals with T-Ray's wrath on a day-to-day basis. She starts to develop a restlessness when she's home, not to mention the harsh punishments that T-Ray inflicts on her, which she constantly endures. The one thing, though, that sustains her is the memory of her mother, the source of which is a box of trinkets she found that belonged to her mother, Deborah. Now, this box contains, among other things, a picture of a black Virgin Mary with the words Tiburon, South Carolina written on the back. This is the key to her mother's story, which Lily just intuitively unravels. So one day, Rosaline and Lily are in town, and Rosaline, being so proud of the fact that she is headed to register her name to vote, ends up doing something provocative to three white men after they call her a nigger, which lands her in jail, and because she refuses to apologize to them, those men beat her up after Lily gets picked up by T-Ray. Now, when Lily is home, she suddenly gets inspired to decide to rescue Rosaline, who was taken to the hospital, by sneaking her past the policeman, and together they run away from Sylvan with no plan except Lily's destination, that is Tiburon. In Tiburon, Lily and Rosaline chance upon a local store where Lily sees the same image of the Black Virgin Mary she had from her mother's box on a jar of honey. Once she learns that the honey comes from this black family called the Boatwrights, both of them head up to their house. Now, the Boatwright sisters are made up of August, June, and May. And yes, they are named after calendar months. August is the natural leader among them. She is quite studious, independent, and unfathomable at times owing to her depth of character. Her main occupation is beekeeping, although to her it's more than just an occupation. It's a way of life, a window into divinity itself, especially how certain bees have designated roles, and each bee plays that role to perfection. June is the slightly less open, less friendly sister, especially towards white folks, and especially at the beginning. She basically just plays music during funerals. May is the sister who has a special condition which basically lets her drown in others' emotions whenever she hears or sees something even remotely sad. Like, she would literally have hysterical fits. But for the most part, the sisters welcome Lily and Rosaline to stay with them however long they need to, Lily's lie being that they are supposedly headed to her aunt's place in Virginia, eventually. As the days pass, Lily becomes more and more invested as August immerses her in the work of beekeeping. And I have to say that the author really nailed the storytelling in parallel with all the technical stuff about the beekeeping without it ever getting boring. It was actually quite riveting and makes one even more curious to get to know the process. Besides that, though, Lily meets Zach, August's godson, an attractive and intelligent black boy who helps August with the honey business. Zach and Lily develop feelings for each other, but are aware that, their being together is a near impossibility given the climate of the times. Zach aspires to be a lawyer, just like his mentor, lawyer Clayton. During one of his visits to the lawyer's office with Lily, she uses the phone to give T-Ray a call, asking him what her favorite color is, which he obviously ignores and instead tries to force out from her where she is, after which she obviously hangs up. The defining moment of truth for Lily is when she witnesses May perform a strange habit which Lily has known her mother to also have performed when she was alive, which she obviously knew from T-Ray. She's stunned, so she asks May if she knew a Deborah, to which May answers, "Oh yes, Deborah Fontanelle. She stayed out there in the honey house. She was the sweetest thing." And so, as shocked as she is, she did have a knowing deep down that her mother had been in the same house before. So, when she wanted to finally have the talk with August to spill everything out, Zach gets arrested for getting into trouble with white folks, which then prompts May to commit suicide when she learns that Zach is in jail. And so later on, once Zach gets eventually acquitted and the mourning period is almost over, Lily tells August everything. To Lily's surprise, August knew all along who Lily was the moment she set foot inside her house. She was just waiting for Lily to be ready to come to her. August, in turn, tells her everything, including the fact that she used to work as a maid for Deborah's mother during Deborah's childhood. She tells all, right down to when Deborah ran away from Sylvan to live with the Boatwright sisters, and then actually went back to get Lily, but in a scuffle ends up getting accidentally shot. And so the whole coming-of-age story is really one of tragic lost love, and yet Lily, through her remarkable journey, is able to find herself and extract that love that she's been missing, not only from within herself, from her inner mother, but also from the sense of sacred sisterhood imbued by the Boatwright sisters and their way of life, and in particular their symbolic relationship with the Black Virgin Mary, the Divine Mother herself. I think her being surrounded by this circle of females is almost like a rite of passage to her reaching where she is now, empowered, not afraid to use her voice, confident and self-forgiving. From this, I think Lily derives such fortitude, peace and self-acceptance that in the end of the novel, she confronts T-Ray when he finds her, and she tells him that she's not going back home and is instead going to stay with the Boatwright sisters who support her in her decision. I swear to God, the way that Soo Kid portrays this scene, where such a hardened and tough character as T-Ray is in an instant reduced to a pitiful and weak person who we see was in so much pain that he resorted to a life of abusing Lily, is just so moving and raw. I almost got chills. The fact that she's able to, evoke such deep emotions in the reader, it just goes to show how talented she is. It's like, she's casting a spell and we're just like truly spellbound. So one of the questions that was at the back of the book for discussion was, were you surprised to learn that T-Ray used to be different? That he once truly loved Deborah? How do you think Deborah's leaving affected him? Did it shed any light on why T-Ray was so cruel and abusive to Lily? Honestly, yes. I was very surprised to learn about a different side of T-Ray that, the reader is oblivious of until the time when August tells Lily about how he was when he actually loved Deborah and how he used to be smitten with her, and how that probably transmuted into pain once she decided to leave him. And so, of course, we can't really condone his behavior, obviously, but at least it gives us insight into his choices and how he was never really a cruel person to begin with. Does it somewhat redeem him? It's debatable. But I'd say it was genius of the author to share that very human glimpse with the reader. Honestly, I would rate the book at 10 out of 5. It was that good. Do yourself a favor and read it. I promise you won't regret it. Until next time, happy reading!